To, like, when people say they want to get fit or get strong or lose weight, what they really mean is they want to feel better about their body.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's all body image.
Yeah.
How they feel about their relationship with their body. For some people, that means being a size 8. For some people, it means having 30-inch jeans. Some people, it means being ripped or massive. But it's essentially they want to feel better about themselves.
They just want to feel comfortable with the way they look.
Yeah.
And I mean, sometimes I don't necessarily think that means having a size 30 waist or having big muscles.
But it does to some people. Not to you, but it does to some people.
To some people.
And this is the whole issue with body image. We all have a relationship with our own body. And we need to, I think, explore that if we're going to be happy.
You know, my thing is, you see a lot of Hollywood actors and you see a lot of models who have this look.
Mm-hmm.
And does that mean just because they are a Hollywood actor, if I have that look, am I going to be happy? Or,
well, I think when your body is your profession, it's a slightly different thing. Sometimes you have to disassociate slightly.
Well, that's what we spoke about at the top of the show. We said about how, like, people see these, we were talking about Marvel superheroes, and I'm like, the thing is, they are superheroes. That's their profession, to look like a superhero, and it's like, you don't necessarily have to look like that to be happy with
But even they don't look like that when they're not.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Exactly. That's what I mean. Exactly.
They train for 6 months incredibly hard, usually like 3-4 hours a day, sometimes 5 hours a day, 6 days a week. They have trainers, strength coaches, nutritionists, fight coordinators. It's a lot of money and time and energy is put into getting those actors looking and performing the way they do, but they don't even look like that. Yeah, by the time the film's out, they look different.
The reality of the situation is that that's not the sculpted,
this is the issue. This is the image we have in our head, and this is the problem with social media. We look at the kind of after photos. We don't look at the process, and we don't look at the hard work of training. We just see a snapshot of the end result.
Yeah, you just see,
which is temporary, and then in our brains, subconsciously, we think, oh, that's the norm, when it's not. And if we're exposed to lots of images, which women have had dealt with for years, with models being on the cover of magazines, if you're not skinny, white, and young, then you're not beautiful, which is ridiculous. Yeah, that's what women have had to deal with the last 40 years.
If you're not skinny, white, and young, good luck, basically.
Which is nonsense. It's absolute nonsense.
It is nonsense. It is nonsense, and that is why.
Do you do occasionally, but otherwise it's okay?
It's a good question. I think before you start strategizing what to do, you have to go back a step and actually really work out if it's important to you. Because the biggest excuse, what James said, is like, I haven't got time. You do have time if it was important. You have time to come into work because it's important to you.
If I get paid.
You have time to eat. You have time to maybe watch a movie every so often. So it's all about priorities. So if exercise isn't a priority, it doesn't matter what strategies I give you, you're never going to do it.
Well,
so you have to kind of really, again, explore mentally, like, do I want to exercise more? Why? And then sort of you have that conversation with yourself first, and then once you're motivated, then you can start thinking about,
But I feel like body image is it needs to be what you're comfortable with. You need to be comfortable with your body image, and I think it encompasses a lot of things. I don't think it just encompasses fitness and health and like if I'm fat or thin, but I think it encompasses what you wear, how you act, what's your hairstyle, and
Yes, but the issue is obsession with your body. Not that you shouldn't care. I'm not saying people shouldn't care at all what they look like. That's usually a sign of depression when people give up completely. And it's nice to communicate from the watch or a car, whatever it is, but obsessing about anything usually is a bad path to go down.
And isn't that kind of, I mean, I don't know, like, you're the martial artist here, but isn't that kind of also, again, a martial arts thing? It's about balance, isn't it? It's about having, like, being comfortable.
The classic thing in Taoism is yin and yang.
Yeah.
So, the argument is it's all balance, and too much extreme, the Buddhists call it the middle path, where you go too extreme in one way is always. But usually when you're big, you put more strain on your heart, more strain on your joints, and it causes problems. I don't think it's a positive image. In the same way, I don't think someone anorexic is, or looking, like super, super skinny is a positive image. But it's tricky because, particularly in sort of the world in women's media, it's been so bombarded with this one aesthetic of like skinny, white, young, that I understand if you're a woman, it's quite nice to, for once, not have someone who looks more like you. So I get that.
But I guess the worry is, of course, I'm always bearing in mind this is men's radio station, so we're encroaching on our sister station, women's radio station. But is it saying you're getting permission? Being curvy, people are curvy. Some people are curvy naturally. But is it, I suppose it's a line where you're saying, you want to eat crisps, have that extra burger, who cares? And then, as you say, the health side of it is really very
Well, we
negative.
can all do whatever we want, It's like, but the point is, when you're celebrated, it's not her I have an issue with. It's magazine editors who decide to put her on the cover as a role model. When you're in the front of a magazine, that's like aspirational. This is good.
Yes.
That's the issue I have. Not with her at all. She can do what hell she wants.
Same issue I have as well. It's like when they get put out here, it's like this is the beauty standard. This is the body image you have to attain.
And it's because it's trendy. Body positivity is very trendy. And sadly, even mental health awareness.
Some of this dieting and keep fit business, is it about taking back control to feel better about yourself, just from that perspective?
It can be, yes, and that's where exercise becomes incredibly powerful and empowering. It's not always the case. Some people take it too far and it becomes about vanity. I think that's where there's a trend definitely amongst like younger generation of like posting pictures themselves on Instagram, where I don't think it's about empowerment, it's about vanity and self-promotion, and I think that's dangerous for mental health. But I think for most of us, particularly ones not addicted to gym selfies, for most of the population, it is incredibly empowering, and it is taking control back, and that's the best thing about it.
Because I know when I
force the shot and
Yeah.
just hit the golf ball.
Yeah.
Just-
And let your subconscious take over, because the subconscious is so clever, and our conscious brains are so tiny and usually mess things up with our ego and other stuff.
Yeah.
But our subconscious knows everything.
It only happened to me once in sport, which was
Yeah, but the whole thing about a Zen, more spiritual life is you be rather than you do.
Activity, because I just sit in the computer all the time. So for people like me, what would you recommend if we want to practice mindfulness the simplest way?
Well, mindfulness isn't necessarily a physical thing. It's a way of thinking, where basically it's about being present. So whenever it's quite easy not to be present nowadays because our phone goes off and there's distractions everywhere. The idea is to focus, to have complete focus on what you're doing. And like when you're here, like now, you're thinking about what we're doing now. You're not thinking, oh, I've got to press that button, or tonight I'm doing this. You're completely.
I do have to press the button.
But mindfulness is just being completely present in the moment. And when we have conversations like we are now, and we're listening to each other, that's a classic mindfulness, because we're listening and we're engaging. We're not. Well, I'm not thinking about anything else. If I was, the conversation wouldn't flow very well. So and it happens internally as well. So if you completely just, when you're on your computer working, if you completely get absorbed by that, it goes quicker, it's more enjoyable. But if you're doing it and also getting distracted by other things, that's not mindfulness. Linked to that, there's also mindful movement. So if you move, if you go for a walk, and actually don't listen to your headphones, actually feel your feet kind of walking, feel how your body, how your posture is, feel how your abs are working, be aware, like scan your body and just have a feeling of what's going on. Listen to like the birds tweeting or even the cars going past. That's being mindful. It's being completely present in your given moment, sort of living in the now. So it's affecting me. So some people are like, no, I'm fine with body image, it doesn't affect me. But actually spend 5 minutes and really think about it. Are you happy in your own skin?
I think that's.
I think the start of any kind of change is being aware.
So it would just be taking a couple of minutes, just to sort of be.
Just have a think about it.
Just have a think.
I think conversations like this help, but actually, so many of us just go, "Oh, it doesn't affect me," because they don't go deeper.
Well, I don't know. 1 in 3 UK adults. We've beaten the numbers in here. There's definitely one person in here who's concerned about it. I can say that.
But I think it's a lot more than 1 in 3. But
I think
that's my point.
I think it is more than 1 in 3. But I think just think about what it is you want your body image to do.
But also,
That's a great tip.
A few months ago, we have a psychotherapist who works on our team called Danielle Sandler. She's part of our team, our coaching team. And a few months ago, we actually asked her to create a guide, and we actually launched it yesterday. So I want to give that. It's free, completely free.
Ooh, how do people get that?
Just go to website danrobertsgroup.com, and there's a thing which says free resources, and it's completely free, and it's a whole video series, tips and insights all about how to have a more positive body image.
Loving that.
So it's danrobertsgroup.com/free.